Good morning, everybody. Happy Easter. Hope you're enjoying your eggs. I certainly am. I'm doing some content today on self-identity and what that really is. I just keep noticing, and I've done it myself, lots of people going, "What? Who am I?" And I don't know if this is a thing since COVID where everybody's doing a lot of internal inventory and self-reflection. I mean, how could you not? And everybody's beginning to collectively question their existence. What are they doing? Are they happy with what they're doing? They might have been happy with it 10 years ago, but as you evolve as a human being, you may find that what you set your life up to be is no longer sustaining you on some kind of level or fulfilling you or making you happy. And that can be with the people around us as well. That can shift them towards us towards them. And it can be quite an unsettling thing. And it really comes down to our identity. And I go on about conditioning a lot because we are all conditioned, whether it's society, whether it's family, whether it's our belief system that we've inherited, that we've never even questioned. And what happens through life is with our conditioning, we live a certain life. And we may believe truly that's who we are, and we identify ourselves with our roles. So it might be role as a parent, role as a spouse, role as a career, but you're innately not any of those things. Those are the things you do. Those are the things that you've chosen to do, maybe not. Those are the things that you've signed up for on some level. But does that mean that's who you are? You're still an individual outside of all those roles. And I can never emphasize that enough. And it can take a little while to get our heads around that. When we do start to ask those big questions about identity, which is basically who am I, it can be petrifying, it can be alarming, it can suddenly make us look at our life and go, oh, what am I going to do? I'm not living my true authentic life, which is what your identity is. Who are you outside of everything outside of you, which is people, places, jobs, qualifications, likes, dislikes? Who are you underneath that? If you take off all those masks, what is left? It will be your true authenticity. And I struggle to explain to people what I mean about being your true authentic self, your genuine true self. I find it really hard to articulate. So forgive me if I'm not coming across clearly. But I was living for at least 35 of my 40-something years, a very, very, very unauthentic life, very ungenuine. But I can forgive myself that because I knew not back then. I had no idea. All I knew is that I was living a life that was uncomfortable, or I'd set up a career choice, go for it full blast, and then go, what am I doing? I hate it. And then stay in it for another decade, hating it even more and wondering why I wasn't happy, and I was frustrated. Because I'd set up something that wasn't based really on who I am. It was something I thought I wanted, based on the masks that I'd collected over my lifetime, which we all do, to fit in, to adjust, to get by. You know, you find a passion, you think you love it. Well, it might suit that version of you at that decade of your existence. But as you go on, you might grow as a person. And then what you love may not be what you love anymore. What do we do then? It happens all the time. It will keep happening because it's called emotional maturation. It's called soul maturation. We are meant to grow and evolve. We are allowed to change our minds. It doesn't mean we lied. It doesn't mean that we've done something wrong. It just means that who we were then is not who we are now. And I think that's really cool. But what do you do with your life then? Because granted, it's not easy just to go and turn your whole life upside down, but it is a possibility bit by bit. So when I work with people trying to identify who they are, it's really hard work both ways. It's hard work. How do we get these masks off? Because we might want to take these masks off, but we might struggle to find out what the mask is. Then we've got to look at the mask and go, okay, how has that kept you safe? How has that got you where you needed to be for that time period? And now can we find the courage to take that mask off and look what's underneath? And then you've got to go and apply it to your everyday life. So it's work, it's hard work. But the beautiful thing about doing the inner work is it's such a gift to yourself. It's so liberating, freeing, it's enriching, it's exciting, it's scary, it's tearful, it's upsetting, it's all of those, but you are doing yourself justice. The minute we are born onto this world, we've already started our conditioning. We've already started it. You want to stay in your conditioning for the rest of your life, I judge you not. I nearly did that, and I got quite comfortable with it until I got too uncomfortable and had to do something, and I still didn't know what that was, and didn't know it was conditioning, and that I wasn't living my true life, and that I picked up all these masks and all these different places that I'd lived, all these different relationships I'd had, all these different careers I thought I was going to do. And then I just spat them all out in the nicest possible way, because they weren't in alignment with my true self. They were in alignment with my false self, and we all have a false self. And believe me, I can walk out my front door and put on my false self if I need to, and it comes in handy sometimes. But do I want to live that all the time? No. Would I still like to know who I truly am inside, regardless of what I present to the world? Yes. Because this is where my life started to go into flow, into abundance on all different levels, because I started being honest with myself. Doesn't mean you're being dishonest, but I mean, how can you be honest if you don't know what you're being dishonest about? It's not about dishonesty. It's about, can I love myself enough to be free and be my true self? Regardless of what others think, regardless that those around me might not want me to change, it's not really change. You're actually becoming who you really are and letting go of who you're not. So you're not changing as a person, you're just becoming more truthful, more authentic. Yes, it's hard work, but it's the deepest healing journey you could ever give yourself. So why not start today? Have a good weekend.